Hello and welcome to Live at Lunch this Thursday, 26th of October. I'm delighted to have a special guest, an entrepreneur, also titled a mumpreneur, which is a new term we're hearing across the internet. It's Anne Ryan from Own Your Goal. Welcome, Anne.
Hi, Vivian. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me to be a guest. I'm really happy to be here.
Fantastic, because what I aim to do is to invite innovative entrepreneurial women, and you're certainly one of those, and connecting people and clients all around the world from the recent discussions I've had with you. So yes. You're going to share today with us some top 10 mindset tips, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Look, I think mindset plays a big part in life and in business. So I'm very fortunate that I have a pretty good mindset. I've worked on it for years. I've been coached myself, and I have a pretty good attitude to life, and I want to make the most of life. I don't want to settle for mediocre, and so I really I set my goals, I put my mind to something, and then I follow through. Some people might call me impulsive. I sort of don't give everything too much thought, but yeah, I sorry, what was that?
Diving in feet first.
Absolutely. I start well before I'm ready. Yes. Often that's the hardest thing, right? The start. Everyone feels that fear, and we always second guess ourselves and think about everything that could possibly go wrong, when really they're all little stories and excuses that we tell ourselves, and we haven't actually given anything a real go.
Yeah.
So, I personally believe we need to have goals to succeed in life. Otherwise, we're just going through life in autopilot, and that's okay to take each day as it comes. But if you really want to live a particular lifestyle and make the most of your life, then you do need to take yourself out of your comfort zone. You do need to challenge your fears, and just make the most of the life you have, because we've only got one life.
So tell us a bit about the business that you've got, some of the main projects that you work with.
Yeah, so look, I've got a background in business and in the corporate world, and I've completed some study in life coaching, and now I've started, well, not now, a little while ago I started a coaching business.
Right.
And I've started a Facebook group. And my niche market, I work with anyone. I can help most people, but the market and the people I understand best and relate to most are working mums just like me.
Yes.
We have the added juggle of family and often being the primary carers, and
so looking after the older generation and the younger generation at the same time, often.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That is the case, and that certainly is the reality of my life. But we still have aspirations and dreams, and we need to also acknowledge them, because otherwise we're going to be resentful and feel disappointed that we haven't achieved our own dreams. So my Facebook group is for empowered mumpreneurs.
Yes, which I'm a member of.
You are an active member of, and I really appreciate your support, Vivian.
I get so much out of it. It's fun to be a part of it.
Oh, great. That's really good to hear. And look, I'm really, really happy with how the group's going. We've got a really good, engaged bunch of women, and I aim to share as much value as I can. And but on the side, my business is coaching women, and I help them with things ranging from mindset through to developing and implementing business strategies.
Right.
And so mindset, coming back to kind of what we agreed would be the topic for today, is such a big part of business too. So I think I mentioned that I'd be talking about the top 10 in my opinion, and I mean it starts with believing in yourself. Attitude is everything, and if you believe you can do something, you're halfway there. So that's kind of really important for success. And and success is something that we need to create. It just doesn't happen to us. It just doesn't fall on our lap,
magically.
Exactly. There are a handful of people out there in the world who are very, very fortunate that they ride on the coattails of their family success, perhaps. But often that's not the case.
Yeah.
And so I guess the first thing is to believe in yourself and do what you love. I think if you do what you love, it won't be a chore, it won't feel hard. You will be really clear on your why you're doing it, what you're giving and what you're receiving through your business. And for me, having my own business gives me flexibility and it gives me freedom to work from anywhere. As you know,
yes, we can.
You know where I am today.
So I'm in a motel room because I was asked by someone on Sunday, we really need someone to manage a motel. First time I've done it. Huge learning.
Yeah.
I said yes because I could work out and flex with my other business arrangements. So what about you? Where are you sitting today?
Well, today my car is getting serviced and I am sitting in an office at Toyota. So I've kicked someone out and politely requested, please can I have your office? I'm just going to do this video for half an hour.
Yeah.
And they were very obliging. So really, that is my dream, to be able to work from anywhere in the world. I work while my kids are swimming. I work while they're at athletics or out horse riding, and I have my laptop, I have an internet connection, and that's all I need really. Oh, and a headset is helpful when I'm talking to clients. So
do flexible and and it works in well with your lifestyle.
Absolutely. But doing what you love, I think you're more likely to succeed if you're doing something you feel passionate about. And then the third one I'd say is choose good people to be around you.
Yes.
Positive people, motivational people, people who've succeeded in business themselves, who could be great role models for you. I think, who you spend most of your time with is the average of who you end up being, the 5 people you hang around with most.
Yeah.
So it's really, really important to have, a good cheer team around you that can support you and help you through the ups and the downs, and, celebrate the wins and also be there to support you when things don't exactly go to plan.
Yeah. I think that's so important. Sometimes there are people that you can't, I can't think of the line, but like you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family, that sort of thing. So there are people around that that can be negative, but it's trying to somehow overcome that or draw in on the people that are positive so that you've got that better balance. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Makes a huge difference to your life.
Yeah.
choose courage over fear, I would say, is another really important mindset for success. We all feel fear. Fear is something that is, it's natural. But if fear stops you from taking action, that's a shame. So we need to address our fears, and often our fears are about things that haven't even happened, but things that
that you're worried will happen or won't happen, or put an advert out or something like that if you're in business and then you don't get a response, or something, you put something out there and no one takes it up, but you can look at it in another way and turn it to be a glass half full, I suppose, in that regard, in that even though no one came, you still learnt from the experience.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It's a learning experience every time, and that is the very least you get out of it.
Yes.
You learn something. So, and taking risks, being willing to take risks is so important for life and business success. I guess there's no guarantees in life, in business, and the unknown is always, I guess, a little bit scary, but taking that leap of faith and taking risks is really important for success. I've done some crazy things in my life because I am a bit of a risk taker. So, but I acknowledge that there are many, many people who just wouldn't do that. But I think, the better you get at taking risks, the more chance you're going to have to succeed.
Yes. I know, because I've stepped out of employment into business, and it took me a long time to make that step, and that certainly, it did take courage, and it still does, but it's I actually was starting to get physically unwell because of where I was and feeling stuck. So that was hard. When I got those triggers, I thought, right, that's a real sign that I need to step into this new space. And I love innovation and change. So for me too, that's sort of an easier one to take, but still not having that regular pay packet. It's a different feeling, but you get there's other balances and rewards for being, working for yourself independently. So yes, but it definitely takes courage, and you can get exciting results because of it. Yeah.
Look, that's absolutely right, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel fear most days about something, whether it's our children or whether it's business. There's so many things that are of concern out there, but that shouldn't paralyse us and stop us from taking action. With just over 2 months left till the end of the year, I've actually just written a post this morning, which I'll share in my group. But my question is, how many people have followed through with their intentions that they made at the start of the year?
Right.
Or are we still thinking about doing it? Or is it time? Or is it money? Or is it the skill? Or what has been the reason for not following through? And really, they're all excuses.
Yeah.
And they're all, of course. Yeah. But that's where, if you have the right team around you, the right support around you, if you did have a coach, if you have a good mindset or work on your mindset. I constantly work on my mindset.
Yes.
It helps. It definitely helps.
Well, I recently was struggling getting on track with my study, the course I'm doing, and I ended up connecting with 2 people who were other students, and we meet once a week to say, right,
great,
set our little goal, what's going to be doing for the week, and then share and say, well, I did this or I didn't quite do that, but we're supportive of each other and helping each other. So that, surrounding yourself with the good people, it's a really good tip for that mindset. But yeah, and helping. Well, I don't know if it's a courage one, but certainly it's getting people together to help you move you forward.
Absolutely.
You've got to face up.
Absolutely.
And the courage, I'll tell you where the courage is when you go, I didn't do what I said I was going to do, and I had all these other things, but we bounce around with those and go, okay, let's rejig, and if we didn't have that group, the procrastination would keep happening.
Yeah.
Because you've got someone to be accountable to, and we would celebrate some great achievements. Someone's just finished in our group, which is awesome. So
excellent.
So the other two of us have to keep going, and she's still willing. The other person who's finished still happy to keep coming and supporting us to get us there, which is
great. Yeah. No, look, and that having those accountability buddies makes a difference. It does, and it's better to have that kind of setup rather than your friend or your sister or your mum, because it's not the if it's someone that's too close to you, you'll feel like you're being nagged.
yeah. If it's somebody out of that space, so that's why I chose two other students, so that we could all help each other along, and we're at different stages, and so we could help each other, so it's good. It's
great. So then another mindset tip would be sort of the purpose and vision for your business or your life. And, I use with my clients, I use visualization exercises to sort of, see where they would like to be in 12 months or 2 years or 5 years, and really kind of go forward to that period in time when they have achieved their success, and be really clear on what they're seeing and what their vision is for themselves and their business and their clients and so on, and writing it down and being really clear on that, your purpose and your vision. That helps, so you know exactly what it is that you're working towards, and it's not just a thought or an idea, and it's not just kind of a little bit cloudy and grey in your mind.
Or just rolling along, without a clear goal, I suppose, isn't it? If you visualise it, you can see where you really want to be. Sometimes you can just do the motions, and you can be busy in business, but you don't necessarily get. If you don't have a target, you haven't got anything to aim for.
Exactly.
I think I need to work on that a bit more myself. I need to.
Yeah, look, that is a trap. Another trap is the shiny object syndrome. There are so many things out there to distract us. Social media is one of them. But even within social media, there'll be so many business strategies and tips and advice, and people sort of saying this is the new way of doing things, and this is the different way of doing things, and don't do it that way, do it this way. And for someone who's new in business, that can be really, really distracting and confusing, because all you want is success, all you want is results, and there's this pressure that you need to bring in an income, and it's really tempting to go, oh well, I tried that for a week and it didn't work, so I best change. Oh no, I need to try, I'll try this, I'll try the next thing. And that's what keeps you busy. But really, what I say to everyone is you've got to give something 90 days, at least 3 months of consistency.
Yes. Yeah.
To really measure the results, to measure what worked and what didn't work. You can tweak things during that time.
Yes,
but don't change strategies. Really, because otherwise you will never know whether you just gave up too quickly.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
Thomas Edison
Oh.
learnt 10,000 ways it didn't work before
but he kept going. He kept going.
Yeah, and he kept going. So it's kind of like you don't give up too soon. You've really got to give something a decent amount of time before you feel like, okay, that didn't work, so I'll try something different.
Yes.
And that's the attitude. I'll try something different. You know, it's not, I'm going to give up, I'm going to find another job, I'm going to get back on Seek and look, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just really keeping that sort of positive attitude.
Yes. Yeah.
Challenges, I mean, is the other thing, and accepting that challenges happen in business and you deal with them as they come along. You know, that's kind of a really good segue from what we were just talking about, because, you know, it's not all sunshine and roses. It's not easy being an entrepreneur and starting your own business and constantly motivating yourself and you know, putting yourself out there, and it can feel lonely and it can be challenging and you face lots of issues, things don't go your way, but you kind of have to look at every challenge and accept it and take it on and you know, sort of work through it. Because you grow from that experience as well as your business. Staying focused on the end goal is, you know, again, avoiding that shiny object syndrome, being really, really clear on your vision and staying focused so you know exactly what it is that you're working towards. And, not sort of giving up too soon. They're all sort of very closely linked, these sort of mindset tips, but it is that, you know, being really, really clear on what it is that you want and staying focused to make sure that you get it.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things like there's, you know, like just in social media, there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn, there's Instagram, there's a Twitter. So there's a whole host of those. And so do you suggest to actually sort of choose and work with one, or have you got any tips like that, Anne, in terms of the, you know, because the challenge is spreading yourself thin over trying to monitor, you know, a whole variety of them.
Absolutely. I think you need to look at your own individual situation.
Yes.
How much time you have, what your strengths are, and build your strategy around that. So my strengths are definitely in Facebook.
Yes.
I'll be honest, I've recently started working on Instagram, but I'm not having as much success in that space because I'm actually not putting the time and effort in there because it's not my strength. Yes. You know, so I keep coming back to Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, occasionally I work with single mums and, you know, and sometimes they have their, you know, part-time day job, they've got their children, they're starting a business, they really want the business to take off so that they can quit their day job. And they're madly working on so many different strategies. And it's really, you know, my advice to them is keep it really simple. You know, you don't have to do so many different things. Just do one thing and do it really, really well.
Yes.
So, and they are seeing results, as you know, and they are kind of really grateful that they've suddenly, that whole panic and the hours of busy work that they've been doing, which hasn't really delivered great results, is now reduced, and they're actually getting results from doing more focused and less work.
Yes.
So to answer your question, I'd say depending on your market, you pick one platform and do that platform really, really well.
Yes, and there's lots of resources out there that you can, there'll be free stuff as well as paid stuff, but to really get to know the most of the marketing side of whatever it is, and how that works. So spending time on that one particular one and getting that better and better. And then connecting in with other groups too. Like, for example, I've got some fantastic tips from your Empowering Mumpreneurs and how you have a topic each day of the week. And even though the topic's got the theme, there's different conversations about that. And I think that's a fantastic strategy because it keeps everyone engaged in different ways and different thinking. So, but keeps you there and you're active with your group.
Yeah, look, and that was all sort of part of the plan too, because so the days when I'm giving out more value and content, which tends to be on Mondays and Tuesdays, when you may or may not have noticed this, Vivian, but like on a Monday and a Tuesday, I do more around mindset and business tips.
Yes.
Right? So it's Monday mindset, Tuesday tips.
Yeah.
And so then I know I need to be more actively involved in the group.
Yes.
And so I set aside more time for social media on those days, even though I've pre-planned my scheduling well in advance. You know, so all those posts come out because they've been pre-scheduled, but on that day I know I need to engage more and you know, whereas on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, when it's around more to do with wins and gratitude and thanks and fears and so on, it's more engagement from my members, you know, from the tribe. And so I know that everyone's going to get involved and I can then set aside more. So that's sort of all taken into consideration with my calendar as well. And
then
how
on Sunday
much time
you've got social. Sunday you've got social.
Yeah.
So that's more relaxed.
Yeah.
And again, people are saying, you know, how are you spending your day? So it's getting the group networking, but less effort on your behalf in terms of the business side, and then we kick back in on Monday, Tuesday. Fascinating.
Exactly. Yeah, because really I don't want to work on weekends. I'm happy to engage with people because I enjoy it, but weekends are my family time. And so, you know, Saturday self-promo days, the opportunity for everybody else to get out there and promote themselves, and I can just sit back and just watch.
Yes.
And, you know, and kind of think, oh, that's good. We've got this person and that person. And, we've got all these different types of people. And so, So there is some method to my madness. And
and that's keeping you focused.
Which,
you know, there's a plan. And so therefore it's not sort of going off every which way. There is a focus, even though it's varied. You're
it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not, in my Facebook group, I'm not sort of rigid. If someone wants to talk about a topic that's completely unrelated to the theme of the day, that doesn't worry me. You know, it's a guide. It's a guide. It's more of a guide from my side. But if somebody else needs help or wants to discuss completely different, that's perfectly, because it's a community to help each other. And it
is all the mumpreneurs.
So absolutely, yes. So my final tip is gratitude, which we sort of mentioned in that last little conversation as well. I do have Thursday is my day for thanks, and in the group, but also I think gratitude is so important, you know, to be grateful for all the little wins and realize that you are in a better position than, you know, half the world out there. And so more than half the world out there, and be really aware of that and be grateful for everything that we have. And that really helps with our mindset too, rather than sort of focusing on what we don't have. We really kind of feel grateful for everything that we do have.
And sometimes just stopping to think about what it is that you appreciate and are grateful for. And it can just be the hug that you get in the morning, you know, from your daughter, as I do quite often. She says, "Mum, I need a hug." I go, "Me too." You know, and being great, feeling gratitude for that, because you can so often think about what you're striving for, what you're trying to get, you know, and instead of thinking, okay, this is, you know, this is a challenge, but hey, I'm getting something from this, you know, whatever you're doing. So yeah, and being grateful for that, and all of a sudden it makes life so much better. If you think, you know, if you get down on the negative, you know, and what you're missing, instead of being grateful, you know, thinking about what you're grateful for. And it's so often we don't take that time to do that, and I think it does make a big difference.
Yeah, it certainly does. It does, and that's something that I try and highlight to my children as well. You know, we have a very, very blessed and a good life, and we take it all for granted. And really, we should be very, very grateful every day for all the amazing things that we have available to us. And I think it's a great attitude to have.
Fantastic. Glass half full, more than half.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, Anne, look, thank you so much for sharing those fantastic mindsets and your entrepreneurial ideas today. We've got, it is time to, we're over time. And so thank you so much for joining me today at Live at Lunch. And so how can people find you? What's the easiest way? Your website?
So my website is ownyourgoal.com.
Right.
And my Facebook group is Empowered Mumpreneur.
So people can search for that in Facebook.
Yes.
And join that.
Yes.
Yeah, ownyourgoal.com. Fantastic. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Vivian.
My pleasure. And vivianevans.com.au for engaging in some more Live at Lunch and other events. And coming up, I'm really excited. We're going to do live online tea tasting, where you pay for some samples, and an infuser comes in the mail, and we're all going to boil the kettle at the same time and make our own tea wherever we are, and join in with making and talking to Katja Ingham, who's a tea blender. So we're going to be talking, tasting and experiencing. So something new. We don't think it's ever happened before online. We don't know. We always love doing a first. So
that's great.
Creative and entrepreneurial idea. But yeah, fun, and we'll taste the teas at Katja's blending in the Central West.
Sounds fun. Sounds fun. I'll look it up and hopefully try and join myself.
Yeah, great.
Thank you again, Vivian.
Time slots. My pleasure. Okay, fantastic.
Excellent.
Have a brilliant week. Bye.
Okay, bye.